We're back! Welcome to another Nostalgianomics Live. Today we are selling everything. We are going to not have a single Pokemon item left at the end of the week. Completely sellout. Hashtag sellout. Alex is a sellout. It's all over. This has all been a big scam. No, I just wanted to do a live stream before I went to collecticon this weekend. Talk a little bit about the, getting prepared to vend and what I'm looking to sell, what I'm going to have there. Especially if anyone out there that watches my channel is going to be at collecticon and they're wanting any of the items that I have and they're wanting to make a buy or a trade or something. Talk about that. Obviously, one of my main purposes there is going to try to be to buy much more than sell. Any type of cards that are gradable, right? I'd love to pick up any type of boxes that I can, use for pack breaks on the channel. Be great to pick up. And, obviously, moving some of the things that I'm going to have there as well as slab sealed products. So I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be bringing. And then we'll kind of talk through, my rationale behind it, how I think things are going to go. So I talked to a good amount of people that have vended multiple shows, and I think I've got a pretty good idea of how, things usually go at these shows. And, what I've kind of come to the realization is the high-end stuff can do really well, but it's gonna be, slower sales. And, if you're going to go that route, you probably need to be okay with a little less liquidity. But when you do make those sales, they're going to be more of home runs types things. Even when I had Bulbasaur, Bulbasaur on the channel with the Bulbasaur shirts, I'm sure everyone knows him, biggest vendor POV guy out there. Even he said he likes to keep his items, I believe, under like $2 or $3 grand. Like anything more than that's kind of like too much. He likes to keep lower dollar items. And I agree with that. And then, people just talk about what's really liquid. Like, it'll go in stages, like, Sword and Shield Alt-Arts and Trainer Galleries were extremely liquid. Then they kind of went down. Now it's a lot of like Scarlet Violet stuff and XY Sun and Moon stuff. And so I tried to kind of curate the slabs I'm going to bring to really reflect that. It's going to be mainly just anything XY Sun and Moon I had. A lot of Scarlet and Violet. Definitely some Sword and Shield, Trainer Galleries, Alt-Arts. I am going to have sealed product. I know, crazy, right? Alex is going to sell sealed product. So some of the sealed product I'll show off, but I have a little pack dispenser. I got like a pack dispenser I got. So I'll have, a bunch of packs you can buy there if you want to buy some packs and open them up. And, we'll see. We'll kind of see how it goes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to share the screen and then I'll go ahead and we'll talk in the chat and everything afterwards. I'll kind of give you guys a rundown of kind of what I'm bringing. Let me go ahead and share things. All right. So I'll go ahead and kind of go through what I got. Let's see. Let's start out with this stack over here. Some Scarlet Violet. I guess a couple Charizard UPC things. So I figured uh-oh, come on. Camera's going to get all unfocused on me now. I figured I'd bring like one of each, kind of have the set of the Charizard UPC promo. See if anyone wants to pick up the set. I know those are still extremely popular. All PSA 10s. We got, the Iono, Obsidian Flames. We got the 151 Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, which I know are extremely popular. So I definitely wanted to bring stuff like that. I got other 151 PSA 10s, Giovanni's Charisma. I got a couple of the promos from the UPC. We got the Garchomp and the Gliscopod from the Paradox Rift. Got some more Paradox Rift PSA 10s. Got the Tapu Koko, the Iron Valiant, Roaring Moon, Altaria. We got the Mew, Gardevoir, Charizard from Paldean Fates. We got the Raging Bolt, Morty's Conviction from Temporal Forces. Got the Ursaluna and Carmine. I've got more of these too. I just had them in a whole bunch of stacks. So they're kind of everywhere. What do we got here? Oh, some Trainer Galleries over here. So any Trainer Gallery fans, we got your VMAX Trainer Galleries. We got the Pikachu, the Blaziken. We got a couple of the Mimikyus, couple of the Umbreons. We got the Rayquaza, all that good stuff. Got our Crown Zenith. We got the Entei, the Glaceon, Samurott. We got a bunch of the Mewtwo, so there'll be plenty of Mewtwo's to go around if anyone's wanting that. Obviously, we got some of the golds, Dialga, Garatina, Arceus Gold, PSA 10s. Basically all PSA 10s, guys. I mean, I know 9s are just like not as popular, so I don't want to bring a lot of 9s. I have some 9s. Here, I'll go ahead and bring out the XY Sun and Moon stuff. I definitely have some 9s in XY Sun and Moon because, you know, people are more likely to buy them as they get older. But, yeah, I mean, we got... So this is from the XY Premium Trainer Collection, the Team Flare Grunt in a 9. We got the Charizard EX in a 9. Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo from Breakthrough in a PSA 10. We got the Kingdra from Fates Collide in a 10. We got the Celebi, the Reshiram Charizard. You guys know I had tons of these. I got the Shining Mew, which we just pulled on our latest pack break on Thursday. It's really cool, so I got that in a 10. I'm bringing this as a 9. I have the 10, but I want to keep that, so I'm going to bring the one I have as a 9. My Lycia got a 9 too, so bringing that. We got the Marchant Marshadow. We got the Green's Exploration, Koga's Trap, the Venusaur Snivy, and the Arceus Dialga Palkia regular ones. We got a couple of the Blastoise Piplup GXs. Ends Resolve. We got the Moltres Zapdos Articuno Rainbow. We got some of the Sword and Shield promos from those Evolution boxes. We got the Flareon at a 10. I got the Vaporeon at a 9, but I got the Jolteon at a 10. I wanted to have them all as 10s, but I couldn't. I ended up selling my 10 on eBay, unfortunately. Got some alt arts. We got the Dragonite V. I guess this is more Scarlet Violet era stuff again. Miraidon, Koraidon, Miriams. We got some stuff from Paldea, Meowscarada, Wo-Chien, Skeledirge. Got like three Chi-Yu still from that Chi-Yu play that I made. So I still got a bunch of those guys. Pretty much like anything from Scarlet Violet era I'm going to have as a 10. And probably multiple copies of it. I think, let's see if I have anything else back here that might be surprising. Penny. You know, those golden green cars at a 10, those are pretty cheap. Those are actually good pickups, honestly. If you're looking to collect something, those are really good pickups in 10s because they're really cheap. We got the Iron Thorns, Walking Wig, Iron Crown, more of those types of things. I mean, that's a lot of the slabs. I got some more slabs. Like, it's really just more like that, guys. It's just going to be any type of Scarlet Violet era stuff that I have in 10s. Sword and Shield's mostly all 10s. And then any of my Sun and Moon XY is going to be mostly 9s and 10s. And then, you know, I'm going to bring some of the Legend of the Blue Eyes boxes, the 25th anniversary. So I'll probably be selling some of these just because they've risen quite a bit since when I bought them. And I do have quite a bit of them. So I'll probably bring some of those. You know, the packs that I'll have, obviously you see Hidden Fates behind me. I'll probably have some Hidden Fates and Crown and 151 and, you know, some more, you know, packs like that to open. Here we go. Bringing the games. So I got the silver version complete in box, as well as the gold version complete in box. We still have the sapphire version and the ruby version complete in box. And yes, I do have the strategy guides to go with them. So we got like the gold and silver strategy guide. We got the ruby and sapphire strategy guide. I even have like this master Pokédex one I'm going to throw out with them. So those are pretty cool. And guys, when I say complete in box, what I mean is it's got like all the original booklets. So if we open it up, go ahead and open it up on screen and show you what I'm talking about a little bit. Basically, you know, you got the box, and the boxes are all in decent shape. I wouldn't say they're like near like minty, but they're definitely near mint. I mean, there's a little bit of like, you know, discoloration up here, but no bends, no creases. They're all in really nice shape. But so basically inside, you know, it comes with, you know, the original, you know, the game with the original little deck box, right? And the game's all in really decent shape, all of them. And then it has like all of the original booklets that came with the game. So that's kind of what complete in box is. But so it's not sealed, nothing like that. But yeah, definitely I'm going to bring all those, see if anyone likes those. As you guys know, I have like a lot of promos. I didn't pull those out, but like a lot of the promos from 151 and Hidden Fates and Crown Zenith and Paldean Fates and all those types of things. I'll have a bunch of those sealed promos there, as well as some singles. I don't have a lot of singles, but I'll have some singles. And yeah, man, a couple of the big things, you know, I'm gonna bring. Oh, I'll have a bunch of those Yu-Gi-Oh 25th anniversary collections. I'll have those there to buy or to open if people want to open them. I am gonna bring my my One Piece Blue Bottom box. See if I get any legitimate offers on that. And I'm also bringing the Team Up box. So see if I get any offers on that. Both these are literally mint, like tight wrapping, no bends, no creases, great shape. So definitely going to bring those. I'm going to bring some other Sun and Moon and XY boxes as well, just to see if I get any good offers on them. I'm definitely not going to be looking to blow them out, but I'll definitely have those guys there. Yeah, I mean, obviously, really kind of looking to buy more than sell, but I definitely want to have at least a decent selection there for people. In no way, shape, or form, guys, am I going to be like anywhere near any top tier vendor. This is my first time. I'm just basically bringing what I have. As you guys know, I don't keep large inventories of things. Most all of my money is in sealed product. I haven't really decided. I probably won't, but I may bring a couple sealed cases of some things that I have a lot of. Maybe like some Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, see if they move a little bit. But, Silver Tempest, maybe Battle Styles, like things I have a lot of. But I may not even. I really don't like selling sealed product at these prices. But maybe I'll have a couple there to see if anyone wants to pay cash for them. I get top dollar and it's over market, and I can just literally go buy another one and keep the profit type thing. Just to have something there on display to have kind of make the booth look a little more full. But yeah, I mean it's kind of all I got, guys. I didn't really go overboard. I didn't go overboard like getting ready for this. I'm just using anything I had on eBay or anything I had lying around. Just enough to fill up a table. I only got a table in 2 cases, so I figured it wouldn't be that difficult to fill that up. Let me take the screen away. So I figured it wouldn't be that difficult to fill that up, and so that's kind of the route I went with it. I'm gonna bring the rest of the Shining Legends packs I have. Like I said, the Hidden Fates. We'll have 151 Crown. We'll have Paldea. Maybe I'll open another couple big. Maybe I'll open like a box of Sun and Moon or XY and have those packs available unweighed, right there too, out of a box, just to kind of maybe sell some packs there. And anyone wants like, take a gamble and open a pack right there. We can film it and stuff, have a good time. Haven't really decided if I'm going to do a full vendor POV or not yet or not, or if I'm just going to have like maybe my wife like film some of the people that come up or some of the deals that get done and just kind of cut that up into a video. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. I don't know if I want to have a camera rolling the entire time, because I know some people don't like to be on camera, and I don't want to have to worry about doing that much editing like Bulbasaur and those guys do. Those guys do a lot of work, man. You guys, they need to be appreciated for all the work they put into making those videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So that's kind of what I'm gonna have at my booth. We'll see how it goes. I plan to bring total value somewhere between 20 to 30 grand, and so hopefully that does anywhere from like 10K plus in sales. Hopefully it may not get that high, but we'll see. And just kind of give you an idea. Total expenses so far, that's one thing I'm going to be very transparent of. I'm going to be very transparent of the time it takes. So after I get off camera, I'm going to start the process of pricing things, and I'm going to really clock every hour that I spend researching and pricing all the cards. Every hour that I spend, obviously like getting there, setting up, dealing with all the collecticon stuff, any retail stuff. I have a shelf I'm going to build behind me type thing. I'm going to track every expense, right? Every travel expense, the hotel expense, the case expense, table expense, any meals we eat, anything I bought, like, price stickers or like the shelves I built behind me, like any type of like signage. I'm literally going to keep track of every expense. And at the end, I'm going to do a video when I get back, and we're going to see exactly how profitable it was and how much I would have done if I would have literally just auctioned everything off that I sold up there on eBay. And we're going to take like the last auction sales of everything I sold, and we're going to see exactly how it compares to live selling versus just straight auctions on eBay, and see how much better it is live selling, and see how worth it actually is. Because I don't think there's a lot of content out there that actually shows that, like, actually breaks it down and shows the exact number. There's a lot of sales talk and there's a lot of like flashy content, but I haven't really seen anyone break down the actual numbers. So I really wanted to Vend to actually do that, because I can never get a straight answer from anyone. I've talked to literally 10 plus vendors, and no one's been able to give me a straight answer on profitability. They give me like certain percentages. They'll give me sales numbers and all that, but they've never actually said, well, after breaking down all your sales versus every expense, product cost, inventory cost, everything, I made this much per show. Even if we take into account, I'm also going to take into account everything I picked up. So everything I bought and what I bought it for under market, and how much market value that has if I were to sell it and auction that at full market value after fees and shipping, what I'm going to make. And we're actually going to see exactly how profitable it is. And because you guys know, I am very skeptical of the whole vending scene. I think there's the big guys, the big stores, the big sellers, the ones with followings, the ones that have huge businesses, huge amount of tables. I think they do very well. I think the untold story about the regular people who maybe get a table or two, maybe don't have massive inventories, they may only have 10, 20, 30K in inventory total. I don't think they are given, how do I put this? They're given correct information when it comes to just how profitable these ventures are. I've talked to a lot of people in person at events, and they've, broken even, made a little bit of money, a little bit of profit. Maybe you make $1,000 or $2,000 for working a whole weekend. And you guys got to think about it. Travel, that's a lot of hours. Setting up, that's hours. Pricing everything, that's hours. Vending, 8-10 hours a day, that's hours. Setting up, taking down, that's hours of work. And so I actually want to break down the numbers and see how much work you have to put in and how much, return on investment, how much you make on your time you're putting in. Because I'm going to tell you guys, again, I'm happy to be proven wrong. I really do feel like you'd be better off just sending it to a consignment service or auctioning it yourself on eBay, and it would take less time out of your life, less work. But maybe we'll see. Maybe I get tons of stuff walk up to me and I buy all kinds of collections at pennies on the dollar, and I make tons of money on the buys, and I sell everything for over market, and no one tries to, haggle me down, and everything is great, and I make freaking like, $3-5 grand, and I don't work that much. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do think there's a disconnect though in what some of the big, what some of the big sellers maybe perceive and show, and what the average person who's like an onlooker looking in and saying, I want to try to vend, and then they end up vending and they have a very different experience. And I just think that needs to be put out there more realistically so that people understand. Because here's the thing, guys, and Bulbasaur outlined this in my video when he was live with me on my channel, is he said on average, right? On average, you're going to average around 20% margins. And so if it costs you $1,000 to $2,000, which guys, that's average. So the tables cost like $285. If you want to rent cases and you don't own cases, those are going to cost, I believe, $40 a piece. And then you have to travel up there, whether you're going to drive, whether you're going to fly. You got to get a hotel. You got to pay for your meals. You got to pay for any other marketing material you bought, shelving or price stickers or any type of like banners, anything like that. You got to pay for all that. You're going to be in at least $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000, probably the high end, but at least $1,000 to $1,500. Meaning, if you sell $10,000 worth, okay, 20% margin is $2,000. Well, if your expenses are $1,000 to $1,500, you're only making like $500 or so, maybe $1,000 for the whole weekend worth of work and all that travel. And to sell $10,000 worth, you're going to need at least like $20,000 plus, because you're not going to sell out most likely. And so a lot of people, when they start doing the numbers, they're like, wait a second, I don't even have a $20,000 collection. How am I going to sell $10,000? Well, you're probably not. And so I just want people to have the most realistic amount of information before they jump into vending, because it's not something that I think is for everyone. And I think it's very romanticized online with a lot of these content creators, whereas in person, it could end up being a whole lot of work for very little return. And so I thought I'd be the guinea pig and try it out for everybody. So that's what we will do. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the comment section, see how everyone's doing. We've got like 200 people in here. That's crazy. How is everyone doing on this brand new week in October? Hope everyone's starting out the month good, finding some good deals. I know Surging Spark's still wild. I know Scarlet Violet Era, we're seeing massive rises like Obsidian Flames, Twilight Masquerade 151. It's crazy. XY still going through the roof. Guys, a lot of these XY boxes behind me I actually bought to rip on camera, and they've risen so much since I bought them. And I'm like, well, wait a second. They're actually worth more sealed now than the packs are even going for. It doesn't even make sense anymore. We are still going to rip one of those breakthrough boxes. I'm going to rip the Unbroken Bonds. But, man, some of these, like Fates and Breakthrough and this Unified Minds, I'm kind of keeping them sealed for now because they're just going up so much so fast. So, yeah, the bull market's still in full swing, guys. We got Sneaky Ninja, what's up? Stank Egg Roll, That Girl, what's up? Matt Wheeler, Alejandro, how are all you guys doing? iFOMO, auction started at 99 cents. Absolutely. Cameron, say happy you're streaming. We got Spam Tonto, Pokemon to Zero, MetaZoo, the new paradigm. Dude, I am not on the MetaZoo bandwagon. Again, I wish Charlie and everyone else that he has with his team the best of luck. I've said it before. I think they can make a good living for themselves with MetaZoo. I think I think Charlie and the guys at top, they will make millions. They will probably make, you know, over $1 million for themselves. I do not think it's investable. I don't think anyone's going to be able to invest in it long term. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it'll come back and last very long. I think it'll last, you know, a certain amount of years, but I just don't think it has the legs to carry it much further. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like the guys at the top will make money, everyone else will get slaughtered. That's what I see it happening, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, I'm going to, that's where I'm vending at RF Collectibles is Chicago. So I will be there. Pika Pika is ready for the action. John Chan. And we got Matt saying, last one I went to, the vendors would not buy. They were all about selling, getting little kids to get money for their parents. No Moonbreon wouldn't buy mine and watched about 6 people ask. That's crazy. That's crazy. Abraham, I will answer your email. So Abraham, yeah, anyone reaching out to me with XY boxes? So because the market has swung so fast lately, I'm not going to be able to give you the money you want is the issue. Especially with some of these sets like XY base and like that went up 50%. Because I'm not going to buy at the tops of the markets. Some of the sets that I can open and it makes sense for me to open on screen and I can sell on pack breaks, I will give you closer to that 90% mark. But no, man, I'll definitely send you offers back when I get some time. But it's probably not going to be what you're looking for, unfortunately. I know I had a couple people reach out to me with XY collections and, you know, obviously they want top dollar. And it's like, I get it, but it's just, you're not going to get it. Like, at least for me, I'm not going to pay top dollar for these things. You know, I know they may have had one big sale and now people take that one sale and they're like, hey, this is the price now. So 90% of that price. It's like, no, I can't do that. I can't, you know, it's not how it works. It's almost like the Latias Latios, how it just auctioned off for $2,950. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to pay 90% for that card, right? Or 85% for that card at that price. It's like, you know, when things move very quickly, very drastically, that throws off all the buying. I was willing to pay, and I put out notices. I was willing to pay 90% for XY boxes and Sun and Moon boxes like weeks ago. I put out the notice on Instagram, on Discord. Nobody reached out to me. Not one person reached out to me. Now everything went up even further, and now people are reaching out. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'll buy it from you, man, but it's probably not going to be at 90% of market anymore is the unfortunate part. But I will get back to you, Abraham. You should make an entire collecticon video. Yeah, I'm going to do some filming while I'm there for sure. For sure. Appreciate you, and the Fluter, as new to the hobby. I love your videos. Love you too, man. Oh, gracious. How much for a Sapphire and Ruby? I'll buy right now. Dude, I don't even know. I'll message you when I price them. I don't even know what those are even going for. But I will message you. We should start the auction right now. Uh-oh. Pokiani. God, I'd love to have Ruby again. Favorite item you've shown. Man, it's crazy. I've had it listed on eBay. No one bought it. Maybe someone will buy it at the convention. Bring some Lost Origin. I'll buy them. Maybe. My buddy vended at CollectCon. A big vendor came over to his table and bought him out, sold his entire table and enjoyed the event. Would you cash out if a big vendor comes over? Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, you guys know me. I probably won't even vend again in the future. Unless this goes like far over my expectations extremely well. I don't like the idea of working all weekend. I just don't like that. I don't want to work Saturday and Sunday all day long. And so unless the money is just extremely good, this probably will be my only time. I'm really doing it more for content and to get a first-person view at how a new seller would do. Because, guys, think about it. I think about $20,000 to $30,000 is what a new seller would bring. I have a following, so that's going to help me even a little more than a brand new seller. I just want to put content out there for everyone that's like, you know, looking up to these big time, like, you know, POV video people or these big time businesses who vend every collecticon. I want to put out real content to show them what's actually probable. Anything's possible, but what's probable for them to make on their first few events. Because I just think people are getting an unrealistic view of vending. You know, people will, like that, like Cool as Shive said, you know, people will talk about getting bought out, or they'll show stacks of cash, or they'll show empty cases saying, I sold $10,000. It's like, well, you probably made about $2,000, and then after expenses, you probably made about $500. But hey, you sold $10,000, right? And I just think people need to like be shown that, and the numbers actually broken down in a real way. so they can have a better overall view and make it a better, clear decision for themselves if it makes sense for them. Because the thing with vending, guys, it compounds. If you're going to be a vendor, you're going to have to do it for 6 months to a year to really see the benefits. You're going to have to compound in the early days. Bobo Store did this on my stream. You're going to have to, either break even at shows, make very little profit. It's really about building up your inventory, buying out collections at 70, 80%, selling what you can. And it's really about compounding your inventory to the point where you do start making some good profits. But a lot of people get this idea that, oh yeah, I'm just going to go vend for my first time. I'm going to make a ton of money. I've seen it happen on YouTube. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, Jess, I agree. So that's why I chose Chicago to vend at, because I can actually drive there. It's only about 4 to 5 hours away from my house. And so we are driving. I am driving to Chicago. Hold on. Whoa, what happened? Uh-oh. Guys, I just accidentally banned somebody. I was trying to click on a comment. Oh no! Hold on, I got it. Whoever I just did that to, let me get in my back end YouTube. Give me a second. I will unban you. If you just got banned, I'm sorry. I was trying to click on Brian's comment. I did not ban someone. I'm sorry. Hold on. Where's the ban thing at? Guy, I feel terrible right now. Hold on. So funny. Hold on. Pokey and E said literally no one has broken it down. People are too afraid to because it's probably not impressive as they want it to be. Exactly. So this is the truest statement out there is, guys, anyone who sells Pokemon, I want you to look at me. Everyone, and I mean everyone that I have seen online, they're very quick to show you their sales data. They'll show you their full year of sales. They'll show you their eBay 90-day sales. They'll show you how much they've sold at collecticon or how much they sold. I've never seen somebody show you their net profits. Never. No one ever wants to show net profit. Why is that? It's because the number is never anywhere close to impressive as their sales. Also, going back to Brian's question, because he knows more than anybody, you can sell $1 million in product and make less money than someone who maybe sold 600 grand in product if your margins aren't right? And, people want to show $1 million sales because it makes it look impressive when really they may have not even made 6 figures that year after all their inventory expense, their business expenses, advertising, whatever it may be. But everyone thinks they're rich, right? And they don't ever want to show the fact they didn't make that. And so it gives people this unrealistic, unattainable goal almost. Like you're like, oh, if I can just get to $1 million in sales, I'll be rich. It's like, no, you'll probably make as much as a decent office job would pay you. Let's be honest. That's really what you would make. It's not until you get into the multiple 7 figures, the $2, $3, $4, $5 million in sales, where you're really starting to make some really good money. Maybe you start to be able to put on employees, not have to work as hard, things like that. Kind of what Pokey&E's gotten to. But these $500,000, $1 million sales numbers, they're not everything they're cracked up to be. Guys, I'm going to show you my sales at the end of the year. I'll show you all of my pack break sales, my eBay sales, my off eBay, TCG Player, Facebook, Instagram, all that sales. I'll show you my obviously this collecticon sales. I'm going to break down everything I sold and then all of my expenses, and you are going to be very surprised at how much money you actually take home at the end of the day. And so it's not always as impressive as you might think. All right, I've got to find this. Okay, here it is. All right, who was the last person that I banned? Because I need to unban them. All right, listen. I forget the name. It won't show me the name. Listen to me right here. If I banned you on accident, send me an email right now. nostalgianomics@gmail.com. Say I was just banned from your live stream. Reach out to me. I'll unban you immediately. Really sorry about that. I clicked the button too fast. It got away from me. My bad. My bad. That was awful. This is for Chicago Collecticon. That it is. Absolutely. Pretty sure vendors make most of their money buying inventory to sell in their online stores. They do, but again, if you're buying at 70, 80% and you're paying fees and shipping, you're not making a huge margin. This whole business is a very low margin business. You have to do large amount of sales. You have to do a large amount of volume to ever make a lot of money. So the guys that are making a lot of money vending usually have multiple tables, not always, but they usually have a large amount of inventory. They bring 50, 100 plus $1,000 of inventory to these shows, and that's how they make really good money. And then, yeah, obviously it compounds the buys that you make, but it takes time for that to happen. Yes, everything will be factored in. Every trade-in I take, if I do sell anything there, that'll be factored in, what I paid, what I sold it for, and then also anything I don't sell that I did buy, I'm gonna come home and look at the last sale on eBay auctions, and I will take that into account as what I could get for that item right now in terms of what it's worth. And so yeah, I'm gonna be as fair as possible. I'm gonna try to pump the numbers up as much as I can. I just don't think it's gonna be as impressive as a lot of people think. That's all. Like I said, guys, I'm just about transparency. That's all this channel is about. I just want the most transparent information out there that we can have. And so whenever I move my mic around, it unplugs. But yeah, that's the only reason I want to do this, is I want to have the most transparent information out there so that everyone who's thinking about selling or investing or vending can know what they're getting into beforehand. Because the worst thing is incomplete information or romanticized information that makes things look like better than they actually are, and then you don't realize it until you're in the thick of it. Guys, I have talked to, I just walk up to regular smaller vendors and I've talked to them, right? I've had these conversations with vendors, Sunday afternoon, and I'm talking with them like, hey, how'd the show go? And they're just like, man, I need to sell another like few $100s at least just to make sure I paid my expenses and everything to do this. Like that's a normal conversation. Or I'm about even. I maybe made a couple $100. Like, it didn't go as well as I thought. Like, this is a normal conversation with a lot of small vendors who did their first show, who have limited amounts of inventory, who don't have these like, gigantic, whatever it may be, these $100,000, dollar inventories at their tables. And that's what needs to be publicized more. Everyone wants to, publicize these gigantic sellers with these stores, with these inventories they've been building for 5-10 years and talk about how great it is. But it's just like, well, that's great. You can talk about how great it is, but don't try to sell it to people as it's like a good way to like make an income if it's not really going to be for like 6 months to a year, right? So that's all it really is. Have a booster box fight with Pokey Any instead of snowballs. Maybe we'll do something like that, man. I like Surging Spark. I'm buying a lot of it, PC ETBs and booster boxes. Look, I know there's all kinds of like different opinions out there, whether you should cancel your pre-orders, whether you should buy more, whether it's like a lackluster set or better set. I'm standing firm in my belief. I think it's going to perform extremely well. Seeing the amount of orders and pre-orders that are coming in to distributors, I think it's going to be $120 to $130 box after release. Just my opinion. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. Not trying to cause FOMO, not telling you to jump in. That's just what I think it's going to be. Will you account for a buyer that meets you and pays later? If they pay later and they have to like send funds and I have to ship the item, that's not the same. So, because you could just find me on my YouTube or eBay or TCG Player anywhere else. So it's like, probably not that. That's why you buy $20 boxes of MetaZoo today to slaughter Timmy next year. Poor Timmy. Poor Timmy. I think a lot of vendors do it for fun. Gets their name out there for people who live locally and keeps the excitement in the hobby in that kind of respect, moral boost of sorts. Yeah, I mean, again, I can't debate anybody that uses the fun argument. I've had those debates with others in the past, and whenever it gets to that point about like, selling and everything, they just say, well, I do it for fun. It's my hobby. I shut down at that point. I don't push any further. I cannot debate someone who says it's for fun. All I can do is show the numbers. And so if any part of you is in it for financial reasons at all, then it'll make sense. If you are literally in this for zero financial reasons, it's all about fun, you just want to vend for fun and travel for fun and work, that's fine, right? Don't worry about anything I say. And so, yeah, I get it. If you're just here for fun, anything I say is null and void. That's all I got to say about it. It's meaningless. Question, Dama, investor bro, hater. Come on, guys. We had Dama on here. He came on and talked. Let's not hate on Dama. Was asking his chat in the live stream if he should make investment content. This was not a joke. Do you have any thoughts on this? Go for it, man. I have nothing against anyone making investment content. Like I said, man, he came on the channel. We talked it out. He gave his takes on things, and I think we squashed anything going on there. I got nothing against the guy. If you're gonna come on screen and hash it out and give your takes, like, what more can we ask for? We don't have to agree. So I mean, I got nothing against Dama. What do you do with bulk from pack breaks? Keep it, eventually like sell it to my local card store, something like that. That's what I've been doing. Nothing crazy. Everyone's talking about Banhammer. Let me check my emails. No one reached out yet. God, I hope that person reaches out. I hope that person, or you know what I'll do? I got it figured out. After this video, I'll go back through and watch the replay, and I'll see which comment that got deleted right around Pokeani's comment. I'll be able to find out. Don't worry. I'll get him unbanned. I don't know why YouTube does that. So what happens is when you click the comment, it literally has ban right next to, like, the 3 dots are right next to show comment, like on StreamYard. It's like, it's really easy to misclick on that. You got to make sure you know what you're doing, because you can easily click on ban. Green Shiz has cap. So Green Shiz, you've done it, sort of, right? Come on, man. Let's go on. Let's give Green Shiz credit. So by the way, I'm in Green Shiz's section. If you guys want to come see me, it's his section. He'll be there. If you guys want to check out his channel, the Green Shiz Collectibles on YouTube, he has done videos. I just put it this way, dude. I just think it needs to be done more in depth. I think the story can be told more in depth. I think more breakdowns, exactly what you paid for everything, exactly what you took in everything, what sold, all the expenses. I think it can be broken down a little better to where people can get a better, but I'm not going to take anything away from you. You make good content. No hate for Green Shiz. I love Josh. Everything's good. Everything's good. But yeah, I just want to put it out there for the world to see, and we'll see how, what do you say? He said 2 times I broke even and lost money. Yeah, didn't want to go more in depth because it was dark as hell. Guys, go check out Green Shiz. One of the realest, honest guys in the hobby. You gotta love that. Yeah, man. Hey, maybe it'll go well. Maybe it'll go well, and I'll completely surprise everybody. All right, I got high hopes. We'll see. I'm gonna bring in a good amount of inventory. I'm bringing cash. So if anyone wants to sell me stuff, I got cash, and I'll be able to get more inventory that way. But I just want to give it a real run at it. See how it goes. The VIP passes are sold out. Wow. Has that ever happened? Have VIP passes sold out? That's crazy. I have sold 100K this year, and I am in the hella hole. I gotta talk to Uncle Sam later, so that should be fun. Oh, that's funny. People will brag about their annual revenue, but will bring your tax return to the bank for a loan. It doesn't mean ish if the company isn't profitable. Well, I mean, yeah, the company being profitable is a different thing, though. I mean, looking at one show is different because there's a lot of different write-offs you can use, just business related for the year. And then obviously like how you have your taxes set up and how you, if you're cash basis or accrual basis, how you purchase your inventory. If you purchase more inventory towards the end of the year, which can offset a lot of those profits. And so the business is being profitable. I mean, this is every industry. There's always games you need to play with, like, all that. But so I don't know if that is as big as a factor when it comes into total profitability of the company, because you can move things around to make yourself more profitable each year if you want to. So So I don't know. That's more of a complicated one. I can't get into all that tax stuff, unfortunately. How much should I pay in cash for singles and slabs? If you're asking about me personally, I'm not going to pay more than 50 to 70% for singles and slabs. But that's just me. I may not be the right place to come for singles and slabs, guys. Now, sealed product, that's when I'll get up into that 80, 90% range. If you're wanting to trade singles and slabs, I'll probably come higher. But I'm not a singles guy. I hate singles. I hate them with a passion. And the reason is I don't like singles buyers, right? Singles buyers are just, they're so, and put it this way, I'm a singles buyer. So I'm talking about myself, right? I'm actually talking down myself. But singles buyers are way too particular for me. I don't want to deal with people that want to take the card out of the top loader and look at every angle and try to see if it's gradable. And, I just don't want to deal with all that. Where slab buyers are a lot less particular, sealed buyers are less particular. So I'm not really keen on taking in singles because I don't want to sell singles. So that's why I probably won't be paying the most for singles that other people will. Now listen, other people, they love singles. Their entire business is based on singles and they're very profitable, right? If you want to put in the time and effort and you want to play that game, you can do very well. Make no mistake. The people who do singles make some of the most money in the hobby. They make crazy margins. I'm just not that guy. It's why I didn't like Whatnot. The Whatnot audience really liked singles and I want to break packs. I like opening packs. I don't like selling singles. And so that's why I didn't do Whatnot as long because it wasn't as good for me, at least on there for opening packs. And I just don't have singles I like to sell. And so it just depends. So I'm not going to be the best booth for you to sell singles to. Slabs and sealed, come to me. I'll definitely make you some deals. Duro, I'm not about the other languages outside of English and Japanese. Here's the thing, right? When everything's good, everyone's eating. Everyone's feasting, everyone's happy. When times get tough, if the hobby starts to contract, if demand starts to fall, the first thing that's going to go are those other languages. The Koreans, the Chinese, those are all going to be the first ones to drop, right? So I wouldn't ever tell anyone to venture outside of English and Japanese, especially for investment purposes. If you're just looking to collect the art and you want something cheap, I get it. But if you're starting to convince yourself that other languages are good investments, don't do it, man. Just don't do it. Those will be the first ones to go illiquid and drop in price when times get tough. So it can look like a good thing now. I don't think it's going to be in the future. I'm not going to be at Houston. I'm going to try to make a Texas one next year. Texas is on my list for next year's collecticons. Best Japanese booster boxes to invest in? Pokeanese in the chat. Brian, if you're still here, man, answer that for him. I am not your Japanese source. Thoughts about long-term holds on sealed booster boxes? I plan to hold 10 plus years. Never been a booster box in 10 years. It didn't go up. In modern. So, I mean, you could look at times in like 04, 06, 08, crazy stuff like that, where maybe not, but even 10 years. I don't know if anything didn't move in 10 years. I think almost everything was up after 10 years on the market. So now, depending on how well you do, that's a different story. But it's pretty safe to say at this point, every booster box right now will be up in 10 years. Every Scarlet Violet box. So that's my take. Do prices always go up after pre-order? No, Charlie. Usually prices always go down. This is like a new phenomenon right now. It's very similar to COVID times. Everything at COVID used to skyrocket at release because they were so scarce. Usually, then after that, into later Sword and Shield, everything dropped after pre-release. You could get them cheaper. And same thing for early Scarlet Violet. Now we're kind of we're twisting back around, and now things are coming out of the gate extremely hot, and the best prices you could have got were right when they were released at pre-release. And so it's interesting. It looks like Surging Spark is not going to be cheaper. I mean, I hate to give you that information. Again, not trying to cause FOMO. I'm not that guy. But there's a good chance that Surging Spark will not be cheaper after release. It's just the way it is right now. Now, could it get reprinted a year from now and then be cheaper? Maybe, maybe. But as far as like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after release, most likely not, man. I'm honestly doubtful Vending gets anyone's name out there unless you're extremely good at marketing or already famous. Almost nobody is memorable at these. Try to list 5 people you remember. Exactly. And here's the other thing. So here, adding on to Brian's point, let's talk about all these false narratives people throw out there. You vend to network. Guys, Brian will tell you, anyone that goes to collecticon will tell you, you in no way, shape, or form have to vend to network. All right. You can network just as good, actually better, if you're not vending. It gives you more time to be able to go talk to people and have conversation or lunches or dinners with, because you're not worried about vending and you're not worried about selling, getting all your stuff ready for the next day and all that. So I could actually argue it's easier to network if you're not vending and meet people. All right. So that's the one thing. Yeah. The getting your name out there. I think you could probably get your name out there by posting some videos or having lower prices online than you're going to be, you know, a random selling booth at collecticon. Now, Bulbasaur is a different story. He was one of the biggest POV guys. He has that shirt. He's an outlier. You can't look at an outlier. You can't look at one vendor out of like hundreds and say, well, I remember that guy. Okay, do you remember the other guy or that guy or that guy? No, you don't. They give you your card. Most people throw their cards away. You never remember who that guy is, and you never buy from them again unless you see him in another collecticon. And so I don't think there's as many. Oh, another thing. I talked about this before, right? Old school Pokemon, right? Everyone knows him. I had a conversation with him. I even got him on camera in one of my videos. And I asked him, are you finding better pickups at collecticon now that you're not vending? Or was it much better when you were vending? He literally told me, I have been finding better deals walking around not vending. He said, I'm finding as good or better deals, and I'm able to target the things I actually want. I'm not having to just take whatever happens to walk up to my booth. So he even said, you can actually source just as good not vending. Guys, I have had enormous luck sourcing at collecticon. I bought that Latios that I sold for $2,200, $2,100 for $700 at collecticon. A lot of these cards you see here, a lot of these XY and tag team cards that I got PSA 10s on, I bought at collecticon for near mint pricing, actually under market, because I usually worked a bundle deal. I usually paid cash, and I've made tons of money just sourcing raw singles to grade at collecticon, probably more profit than a lot of the vendors made just by attending. So no, you do not need to vend to be able to pick up deals. You don't need to vend to be able to network. You don't need to vend to get your name out there. Those are all ridiculous things people throw out there in ways to justify it more to themselves. People try to justify things to make it seem like they didn't waste their time. And so that's all that is. I agree. I think Evolving Skies is going to make another leg up. I'll tell you why. If you look, the ETBs just moved massively. The sleeve blisters moved massively, and the booster boxes haven't moved. And so what happens now is, now that those have caught up, it's time for the booster boxes to probably move now. So either one or two things. Either the ETBs and the sleeve blisters are starting to get overvalued, or the booster box is undervalued. I'm more inclined to think the booster box is becoming undervalued now, and we're probably going to see the booster box make a move to the mid sevens up to $800 here in the near future. That's my thoughts on Evolving Skies. Again, could be wrong. No FOMO here. That's just my opinion on what I think is going to happen. I think we'll probably see a run to $800 by Christmas time. What's a realistic expectation on a new mainline set? Well, I don't think we're going to... Oh, booster box case? You should be able to find cases, yeah, in the $600 to $650 range. The Surging Spark may be a little more difficult right now. They may still be out there. Realistically, though, if you're pre-releasing, you should be able to find it less than $600, right? I feel much more comfortable buying less than $600. If it's over $600, you're already taking a little bit of a risk. But I would look for under $100 a box. Surging Spark, it might be a little too late, but the next set, you should probably look for that. Yeah, guys, and like, and I see a lot of people talking about it. Yeah, if you're local, if you have local card shows, absolutely, it's worth it, right? It's just for these collecticons, for these larger conventions where you have to travel and get hotels and pay for meals and all this stuff. That's where it really adds up and it cuts into your margins. Because think about it, guys. If a hotel and you have to stay 2 nights, if a hotel is $200 to $300, that's $400 to $600 right there. Your travel costs, driving or flying, least cost you $100, $200, $300. You got meals all throughout the day, every day, right? You got the table cost and the case cost. You're going to be paying at least $1,000, if not more. Well, if your profit margins are 20%, if you sell $5,000 of cards, that's $1,000 profit. That means that's completely wiped out by your expenses. Now you're back at zero. And so, yeah, local, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. I don't know what section I'm in. You'd have to talk to the Green Shiz. He is the section leader. I'm in his section. I don't know what number it is. I don't know, guys. You guys know me. I have no clue what I'm doing. I just kind of show up and fly by the seat of my pants. This is kind of how I operate, for better or worse. What's funny is like I really don't plan out much in my life. I just kind of roll with it, and somehow I throw it together as I go. I'll figure it out. Here we have a serious question. Serious. Considering investing in a giant plush. Okay, Pokemon Center. They're $500, but as soon as they sell out, they rise in price. Dude, the plush market is wild. I'm not even gonna sell you not to. Brian, I see you say you got to go, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Appreciate the love, dude. I'll see you in about a week. See you in a week, man. Guys, the plush market's it's serious. That is a serious question. That is a serious play. A lot of people have been making a lot of money on plushies. I can't say it's a bad idea. It's risky, but I can't say it's a bad idea. You can do well on it, man. Good luck. Good luck. Oh, man. Can you weigh modern packs? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's people out there that claim they can, and I don't know enough about what they do to call them liars. I know that I've weighed packs before, right? I've weighed vintage packs many a times. I've ripped boxes. I've weighed packs. Very successful at weighing packs. Always got the hollows. Always, I've tried weighing packs with Modern when people started to say that. I've been unsuccessful. I tried it back in Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield when people were talking about it. I've never found packs weighable. I was going to do a whole video about it, but I didn't find any evidence, so there was nothing to talk about. But people still claim that they can. They still claim they're successful with it. Maybe they can. Until I see like documented actual like video proof, I can't say it's true, but I can't say it's false either. I don't know. People claim they can. Do you think Paldean Fate's Bubble Mew could overtake the Charizard? It could, man. It really could. We are in this age of the Charizards are no longer the king, man. It just seems like, I mean, we have Greninja now, the king of Scarlet and Violet. We've got Obsidian Flames Zard dropping to like less than a lot of the other main hits and other sets. The 151 Zard and the Paldean Fate Zard are the only ones that are holding on. It's possible. That Bubble Mew's got the legs. Mew's just almost as popular. It could do it. It could do it. Everyone paid Alex $1 to mess up the data. I can't be bought. You think you could buy me with money? You can vend only Sunday, but I think it's the same price. So it's probably not the best idea. All right, here's Brian's answer. 151, Lost Abyss, Eevee Heroes, Miracle Twin, V-Star, Uni, Shiny Star V. That's what I'm keeping a bunch of. So that is what Brian says for investing in Japanese product. He's got, I don't have any. He's got a lot of it. Maybe we should listen to him. That's what I got to say about that. He's got $50,000 worth of shiny treasures at $24 a box. That's wild. That's straight whale behavior right there. This needs to be talked about more. I agree, Spam Tonto. The amount of people claiming they're holding for X amount of years who sell within 12 months is higher in Pokemon than it even is in ish coins. Yeah, so this is true. There are so many people who are talking about holding Sword and Shield for 5 to 10 years. A lot of those people have already sold. A lot of those people have already taken profits because Sword and Shield's falling, right? It's no longer the hot new era. You know, oh, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign were 230, 240. Now they're down at 210, 220. Lost Origin fell a little bit. Brilliant Stars fell. And you have a lot of people who have sold Sword and Shield who claim they were going to hold forever, but they've only been in it like a year or two and they're already selling. There's a lot more of that goes on. People have already sold Paldea. People have already sold Twilight Masquerade. They've already sold 151. And it's funny because at the first sign of gains, a lot of people take those gains. They convince themselves why they're afraid it's going to drop back down or reprints are going to come or it's not going to be the same this time. People are going to want this in the future. And they get scared and they dump their positions. And I talked about it before. Eventually, all the product moves its way up to the whales, right? Eventually, it all makes its way up to the top of the food chain. And those whales, they do not sell. And they don't care what you think about it. And they don't care how much money they can make on it today. Because guess what? The whales don't need the money. You think guys like Rudy need the money? The whales make enough income from whatever business or job or anything they have that they don't need to sell off their investments for profit. And they're not worried about trying to capture every little market move, right? They're not there trying to day trade Tesla, right? They put their money in it and they hold it and they don't think about it. And people will say, well, Alex, aren't they worried about who they're going to sell all this stuff to in the future? Nope, they're not worried about that. They don't think about those kind of things. They just think about hoarding all of the things that people can't have, and in the future, no one else will have them but them, and then they'll set the market. And eventually, all the product works their way up to those whales, and there's only a few people on the market that still own the product that start selling, and because the market's so scarce, the prices are very high. And people don't realize this, and then what happens is oh, here we go. Here we go. We got Bulbasaur in the chat. I didn't even see him. What's up, Dylan? Only losers vent. To be honest. No, dude, you are the OG vendor, man. The content's still fire, dude. You're always killing it. The shirts still selling out every show for you like they were. No, man. When it comes to vending, Bulbasaur is the guy to listen to. If you want any advice on vending, listen to him. He'll get you pointed in the right direction at least. But yeah, guys, it's like everyone says they're gonna hold forever. No one ever does. No one ever does. And you know, this idea that, well, in the future, everyone's going to sell at the same time, and it's going to be an influx of sellers and not going to be enough buyers. The reason that's not true is there's sellers every step of the way. There's people selling Sword and Shield right now. And if everything makes another run and it runs to $250, $300 a box, there's going to be a ton of more people selling then. And then when it reaches 500, a whole slew of people are going to sell at 500. And eventually, everyone kind of gets dwindled out of the market to where when it reaches these prices, like we see with, you know, all these Sun and Moon and XY sets, you look at the market, there's like 5 boxes listed, and you're like, wait a second. How are these boxes selling for $700, $800, $1,000, $1,200, and there's only 5 listings? Why isn't everybody taking their profits? Because everybody already took their profits. They're gone. They got washed out. The product either got opened, disappeared into permanent collections, or all the whales own it now. And that's why you see things like Unbroken Bonds and Unified Minds with like 10 or 15 boxes left on the entire market, and it's only 5 years old. So definitely think about that things before you get scared out of the market. Everyone's laughing at Bulbasaur. So funny. You've got to wear a ridiculous costume. No, man, I got the Nomics jersey. I got a custom like football jersey made. It's got Nomics #1 on it. It's all blue and yellow. So I'm wearing the Nomics jersey. I think that'll be good enough for people to recognize, you know, who I am. That'll get people drawn into the booth, I think. Wait till your booth gets raided with begging for deals. Yeah, I told everyone already. I've been very clear. No deals here. I will not be working deals for the most part. You have a good following right now. 300 people in here. 300 people? Wow, there is. 309 live viewers. Appreciate all of you guys. Hope everyone's having a great Monday. Thanks a lot, Mr. Jabba. I'll admit, appreciate you. I watched it work. Started collecting sealed due to your videos. Thanks for being straightforward. I wish you heavy bags at collecticon. Hashtag cheeseburgers. I love it. I love it. Well, I have vintage at my booth. I won't. I actually won't, Godly Shad. Sorry, man. Unless people walk up to the booth selling their vintage and I can get it at a reasonable price, then I'll have it. Other than that, I do not have any vintage, man. The last vintage I had was I had a complete set of PSA 9 first edition base set, and I did end up selling through all of those. So, no vintage, man. I'm sorry. Mason, you cannot weigh modern packs with any degree of certainty. There you go, guys. There you have it. Mason owns 2 card shops. I'm pretty sure he's probably went through this with many people. Let's take Mason's word for it for now. Mason says you cannot weigh modern packs with any degree of certainty. I'm going to go ahead and second that. I believe that. Alex, question. Can you explain your business on how you make money in Pokemon out of curiosity? I'm investing long term. Just wanted to know how you make money consistently. Well, I'm going to be a little different than a lot of people because I have the content side. So, I have content and everything that goes along with that, whether it be like sponsorships, affiliate links and things like that. I do my live pack breaks on Tuesdays and Thursdays where I do make a profit on those. And then I also sell, I grade raw singles and sell the graded slabs and I make a profit there. And then also, obviously I invest long-term in sealed and, from time to time, if I have, quick run-ups on those, I will be able to move some sealed product and that brings in some profits. But for me selling, I don't do as heavy selling as some of these other businesses are. And I'm very clear about that. If you guys are like wanting to be full-time just sellers, I'm probably not going to be the best channel for you. You'll be able to learn better from someone like Mason or someone like, Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, or, anyone that does this as a business and like literally their entire income comes from literally buying and selling, where mine, it's just a portion of my income. And so, yeah, in my opinion, I think the 2 best things you can do getting in the hobby are going to be either buying out collections, breaking them down and selling because you're doing the legwork so you get the profit, or it's going to be grading singles. And grading, though, there's risk involved. There's a learning curve, understanding what to look for to get PSA 10s. But, the margins that I make on these graded cards, it's just, it's good enough to where I don't have to sell a lot. So I'm more of a lower volume seller and a higher margin seller. So, I've really condensed my business basically to just trying to find cards in person at shows, at card shops. So that way every card I buy, I'm grading. I'm not having to buy a bunch of singles, sift through them, sell off a bunch of them and break even or lose a little bit just to find a few that I can grade to send in. So basically it's allowed me to up my gem rates really high to where I'm getting like 80 to 90% gem rates on my cards, PSA 10 rates. And that way I'm not getting a lot of 9s, 8s, and 7s. And so my margins are a lot higher. And that way I don't have to sell as much to make close to what I was making when I was trying to sell tons of cards. And then that coupled with my other income sources, it kind of keeps me making a living type thing. And guys, it's all about what level of income you're wanting to make, right? Not everyone wants to get rich, right? A lot of big sellers will talk about it like, hey, I could grow if I wanted to, but I'm at a point now where I don't want to get employees. I don't want to be working my life away. And as long as I don't have to go back and get a job and listen to someone bitch at me and tell me what to do, I'm good with it. I'm just trying to make a living and enjoy my life. And so that's going to be different from someone who's like on the grind, on a mission, wanting to build this like $10 million empire. They're going to be doing a lot of things different than I am. So, it just depends on what your goals are in the hobby for yourself. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? Some people are just like, they love this hobby. They're obsessed with it. They like working and they want to work from the time they get up to the time they go to bed. And I'm just not built that way, right? I grinded a lot when I was in my 20s and I built and sold multiple businesses. And now that I'm kind of getting in my mid 30s, I'm kind of realizing what's important in life for me. and more time with like my friends, my family, doing the things I want to do in life, or the things with the people I like to enjoy doing them with, that's a lot more important to me than trying to like hit a certain income level or reach a certain amount of success in my business. So as long as I'm making a good living and I'm doing what I want to do, that's success to me. So, for you, it might be different, right? If you're like younger and you're wanting to grind, hey, you might want to freaking go a lot harder than I'm going. So it just depends. It depends. What do we got going here? How is Charizard not the king? The boring 151 full art competes with the Zapdos, Blastoise, Venusaur SIRs when it comes to the price. Yeah, I mean, it's still basically the king, but I mean, when it comes to the alt arts, right? Like the Charizard alt art in Sword and Shield is nowhere near, not even close. I don't even think it's the top 5 most valuable alt arts. And the Obsidian Flames Charizard, that's the best hit in the entire set, and it doesn't even compete with like the Roaring Moon in price now, or the Temporal Forces cards, or the Twilight Masquerade cards, or the Stellar Crown cards. So like the top hits in all these other sets are now worth more than the top hits of those Charizards. Now I get it, the 151 and Paldean Fates are holding on, but it does seem the Mew is gaining ground on that Paldean Fates Charizard. The 151 is probably going to hold on, but it's just, back in the day, it used to be if the Charizard was always king. It was always going to be the most valuable card, the most sought after card. Nowadays, it's not that it's no longer king, it's just slipping. It's definitely losing part of its grasp it used to have. People are definitely more willing to search outside for other cards based on the art, based on different Pokemon they started to like. And so it's not a guarantee as much as it used to be, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, exactly. If you're just getting started and you need capital, you got to flip. You have to. I started out flipping. I mean, I think a lot of people started out flipping. Here's how it works, right? If you've got a lot of capital, a lot of money, and you don't have a lot of time, you invest. If you've got a lot of time, but you don't have a lot of money, you flip to make money, to continue to flip, or to invest. That's the two ways. There's no way around it, right? You can't invest if you don't have money. You can't flip if you don't have time. So it just depends on what works best for your lifestyle. Yeah, for you, flipping might make a lot more sense right now, for sure. I agree. This is not the best time to sell Sword and Shield right now because everything's kind of on the downtrend. Here we go. Developers TCG started vending this year, and it's been just all right. I'm there more for buying than selling. Yeah, that's what I hear a lot of from vendors. A lot of vendors say that they focus more on buying than selling at the events. How many people buy vendor slots just to flex their collection with no intention of selling? There has to be a few every show. You know what, man? There could be some people like that. Because some people, you do go to their booth and they have their cards listed at like astronomical levels. Like, hey man, the last 5 at auction sold at like $3,000. Why is yours at $5,000? That's just what I'm asking. Are you willing to negotiate? Nope. It's like, really? Are you really here to sell? Like, I don't know. Some people are like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. How much does it cost to vend? I believe it was $285 a channel. Hey, here, hold on, guys. Here we go. Pokemon Plumber. Hold on. What's up? Hey, hold on. You are live right now to 280 people on the live stream. Hold on, I'm putting you on speaker. What's up?
All in, Surging Spark. Fuck the haters.
What's up, dude? All right, man, we'll do it later. You heard it, guys. Pokemon Plumber himself. Follow him on Instagram. Go all in on Surging Spark. F the haters. Appreciate the love, Michael. Appreciate you, man. Looking to dump some booster boxes? Yeah, so I'm always buying, Casper. I'll give you prices. You might not always like them, but yeah, I'm always willing to look. Abraham and I have another guy I'm going to get back to today about some buys. You know, I can't really pay 90% like I was for Sun and Moon and XY boxes because they've risen so much in the last couple weeks and couple months. But yeah, I will always give you very fair prices. Usually it's at least for sealed product, at least 80 to 85%. So, yeah, reach out, nostalgianomics.com for sure. Oh, yeah, that Magneton promo. So I will say something. Obviously, Magneton's not like the most popular Pokemon in the world. However, it is the same artist that drew the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved and the Giratina from Lost Origin. And people have almost like a cult following for that artist now. So that alone, also being Surging Spark, also PCETB stamp, I think it's got a lot going for it. If it was like something else besides a Magneton, I think it would be like a grand slam, like no-brainer. I think it's still going to do relatively well, but Magneton, being the Pokemon, will hold it back a bit from reaching like astronomical levels. But I think it's going to be extremely good. I think it's a good play. Good buy. That's what I would do, man. I'm gonna be making that play. People ask me who the best YouTuber is to watch, and I tell them Alex. They ask me who's second best, and I say the rest. Jacob, dude, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the love. All right, do you ever think we could have an oversaturation of too many cool-looking cards with every new set brings newer, amazing-looking cards? Collectors are forced to be more choosy. Thoughts? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've already seen that, right? So if you go look at, like, XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, it's not like every card's done well, right? Most of the cards have actually done pretty poorly over time as an investment. It's only the handful of cards from each era that really stand the test of time and do really well, right? And so I would consistently look for like the unique artworks, the biggest, best chases in the entire era. Those from the biggest and best sets, those are the ones that are going to stand the test of time, like the Moonbryon, like the Latios, right? Like that Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends, right? Like some of those megas or secret rares, the Silver Dialga from XY. Like there's going to be a handful of cards from every era that do extremely well. The rest of them are not going to do very well. Same thing with vintage, same thing with mid-era. There's going to be a couple cards in each set. There's going to be a few cards in every era that are going to be good investments and good plays. The rest of them, they're probably going to be very stagnant, very lackluster. It doesn't mean they're going to crash. Like everyone thinks if something's not a good investment or isn't going to do well, it's going to crash. It's not going to crash. Like no one's saying it's going to crash. It's just you're probably not going to see a lot of movement. You're going to come back 5 years later and it's going to be trading in the same range it's been trading in for the past 5 years. So yeah, I do think that's going to happen with some of the modern cards for sure. But, I don't think it's going to be one of those things where it's like the other cards are all going to, crash. They just probably won't perform as well. So that's kind of my answer to that one, man. I do know what you mean. A lot of good stuff is coming down the pipeline. Hold on, Jess says there's definitely a lot of people do that. They'll have moderately played cards for near mint prices and won't negotiate. Guy 2 tables down with the same card half the price all the time, all day. And I'm gonna price, guys. If you're looking to pick anything up, I will have my cards priced extremely fair. It probably won't be as low as like auction prices, but it'll probably be as low as like full price buy it now listings. So I'm not gonna like jack up the prices really. I'm probably not gonna be able to like match auction listings if they go way lower, but I will be priced pretty fairly to market pricing on my stuff at least. Yeah, we'll get Nick on the channel coming up here soon again. What is the best set for a new collector to open? Pikachu, Charizard, Bulbasaur? 151, man. I was thinking of getting Surging Sparks for my birthday, but don't know. 151, probably going to be your best bet for those Pokemon. Stellar Crown has Bulbasaur and Squirtle illustration rares in it. And then, yeah, Surging Sparks can be great, too. I think all 3 of those can be good Scarlet Violet sets for sure. Alex, predictions. What's the next Sword and Shield set to hit 300? I used to think it'd be Fusion Strike. It's really looking like Lost Origin could have the legs to do it. If I had to put my money on one set, I'm going to say Lost Origin. I'm going to say it. I'm saying Lost Origin. Lost Origin it is. Yeah, Crown Xena is super fun to open too, but there's not really a major Charizard or what did he say? Charizard, Bulbasaur, Pikachu. I mean, there's a Secret Rare Pikachu and there is a Radiant Charizard, Charizard V, V-Star, but the main chase cards of Crown Zenith aren't really those Pokemon. So, I don't know. We got a super chat from William. William M, what's up, dude? Hey, Alex, just started collecting and investing a few months ago. As a beginner, how would you start flipping? William, there's just no secrets in this game, unfortunately. If you're going to flip, it's probably going to be by collection buyouts. And what you're going to do is just look at collections. You can look at like recently or like ending soonest on eBay and other places, or you can go on Facebook groups where people are trying to sell collections. And all you do is you look at most of the main hits in there. You go look at full market price on all those cards. You try to buy it for 70% or less of what all those cards would sell for individually. They get the seller gets all the money right up front. You got to do the legwork to break it down. You're going to make a margin there. And then, once you make back all of your original investment, usually you're going to have some sort of inventory left. Then you go back, you make another purchase, and you keep doing that. You compound your inventory up to where your entire inventory is 100% paid for, and anything that sells is pure profit at that point, and you still have your working capital and continue to buy more and more. That's one way to do it. Or you can try to make, grading plays, right? You can try to start grading cards. That is going to take a little bit longer. It takes time to grade. It takes time to kind of learn what to look for and be successful grading. So that's going to be a little more risky, but you can make margins grading cards. You can get into the bulk game. The bulk game is going to be a lot of work. It's relatively no risk because people will almost give you their bulk for free. You can use bulk you have laying around. You can buy bulk from people for like half a cent a card, and then you can resell it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents. And it's all about just mailing out as many envelopes a day because you're going to make a little bit on shipping, make a little bit on the card. And once you do that enough time, you start building up money. Again, it's small amounts of money. It's going to take a long time. Or if you got a lot of money and you want to take some risk, hey, you can start trying to find these high-end cards, probably vintage mid-era cards that go very low at auction. You can find a $4,000 card that's ending at like, $3,000 at auction. Buy it, list it for full price, and just wait for the right buyer to come along and pay you $4,000. May or may not go that way. The market can fluctuate during those times. It's hard. It's just there's no easy way to do it. It's just slow, methodical, small profits along the way, builds over time, or it's taking very large risks. And when you get it right, you hit home runs. When you get it wrong, you gotta be willing to lose. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Oh, hold on. I got a couple more. Mason, hold on. Alex, stop. Put out a video, but asking about Japanese on TCG Player. Oh, Japanese 151 singles are already 100 cards deep for ARs, and they're cheap. Will casuals buy an EN $30 Bulbasaur AR when Japanese's version is $2? This is such a good question, dude. Yeah. Here's the thing. One thing that helps the value of English cards is the grading plays. So one of the things people don't like about English cards is the conditions are so bad. But one of the good parts about grading plays is because the conditions of the English cards are bad, it gives the PSA 10s a huge margin, a huge multiple. And because of that, that helps keep the near mint cards higher because, once they get too low, people will just buy out mass amounts of them and try to make grading plays, which sends the prices back up because the supply gets crushed. And also, just guys, look, this is not me being anti-Japanese. By and large, English is more popular. People want English over Japanese. The reason Japanese got popular is because English got too expensive, and during COVID, people started to buy Japanese cards because they were a fraction of the price. Now, because of that, a lot of people decided, hey, I like these. The condition's better. I like the products better. I like the sets better. The quality, the condition. They like the texturing different, whatever. A lot of people decided they actually like Japanese, so they still buy it. But a good portion of people came back to English when English got more affordable, and just a broader majority of the overall collecting hobby across the world still prefers English. So there's still more demand for English, which does keep the prices higher. Now, does a $2 card versus a $30 card really make sense? Maybe not. So maybe the Japanese versions rise, maybe the English versions fall. Not sure. It's early, man. It's early. I think you could definitely try to make some speculation plays right there if you wanted to, guys. There's definitely speculation to be made now that TCG players carrying Japanese. Now we might see some of the market manipulation, the buyouts on the Japanese cards. It could happen. It could happen. All right, I think we're gonna end it there, guys. I think we pretty much answered everything. I showed off what I'm bringing. Hey, if anyone's gonna be at Chicago Collecticon, make sure you come over to the booth, say what's up. If you want to talk for a little bit, get a picture, whatever. I'll be there. Always open to talk to everybody. Like I said, I'll have mostly Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, and XY slabs. I will have some good sealed product. I'll have some packs to open, and maybe some singles, but other than that, guys, I probably won't be like the place to come to for like the highest end stuff. Probably won't be the place to come to for the greatest deals in the world. But I think it'll be a fun experience. I'll have a good time. And I hope to see a lot of you there. Hope you guys have a good day, good week. See ya there at Chicago. I'm out.